You'll never believe what I picked up. I finally found them.
Hit me.
Pop Rocks.
Oh, God.
It's amazing, dude. I mean, I just can't believe that these things they exist. I know they were like controversial, out of stock, hard to find.
Well, they did kill a man.
Oh, come on, that's just an urban legend. Oh. Well, we have tropical punch, strawberry water. I love watermelon.
Oh, God.
Gotta tell ya. Let me get my Coke here.
You're not really gonna...
Dude, you don't like watermelon?
I love watermelon. I don't want to die. Please, yeah. Wait. Before you think...
Return to Disc presents Night of Living Disc.
Sorry.
I like that.
You know,
Episode 2.
felt good.
I am Dan, my co-host here, Robert.
How you doing,
We're
bro?
back again to talk about another horror film.
A great one.
This one you brought up to me, and it was my first watch. And you're on watch number how many now?
30 plus.
And the movie's called Urban Legend from 1998.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, how'd you find this film?
Probably off of like TNT, TBS, something like that. Just flipping through cable, caught it, and became a huge fan. Went out to I'd go probably Blockbuster or Dillon's and picked up the rest of the series so I could watch the entire thing. And highly recommended by who has the opportunity or has the physical media to go ahead and do that because 100%. Oh my God, it's a great series.
I feel like there was a slasher revival in the 90s.
Oh yeah, it started with Scream, yeah.
Exactly.
That was by the time Scream came out, you're on to Nightmare on Elm Street 6 where Freddy died and the genre was dying at that point. You had Jason in Manhattan, you had Michael Myers doing his same old shtick, you had Chucky getting married and having children. By this time the slasher genre was dying. You could still scare people, but nowhere near the effect you were having in the 80s when, the original Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th came out. It started having to get to be less about having a stalking killer and having something more realistic, I believe the term is meta.
Yeah, I think that started with New Nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Wes Craven's New Nightmare was huge. Scream, obviously, really amped everything up. Urban Legends was a big part of it.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Thank you. That was the other one.
That's what I was
Before
saying.
You hit to the third one where he's like a zombie and it's weird, but that seems to befall almost every major horror genre. Is at some point it crosses the line from being scary to scary funny.
And all three franchises have the latest, youngest talent, up and coming talent in them, an ensemble.
I mean, famously, Nightmare on Elm Street 1 had Johnny Depp, and Friday the 13th 1 had Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the major stars of today dip their toes in blood first. And that's the...
Good way to put it.
Sorry.
I like that. Oh, that's great. That's
I just rolled that one off, actually.
That's... Ding! I like that. So yeah, I think Urban Legend belongs in that category of the 90s revival slasher.
Yep, 100%. Oh, Final Destination. That's the other one I should have thought about.
Yeah.
I mean, that one's also known for the kills itself too, but there's... Well, yeah, that's for another podcast going into Final Destination, but yeah.
The plot for Urban Legend, I think, is pretty simple.
There's a maniac afoot, and his or her particular shtick is to use urban legends to do it. Making sure you check the backseat of your car before you get in. Don't park out alone in the woods if you're trying to get lucky. All that fun stuff. Pop Rocks and Coke thing was I didn't even know about this one until I watched that movie, and then it becomes a kill later in the movie, and I'm just like, oh my God, that's fantastic.
All right, let's get into our categories.
Okay, yeah. Where do we want to start?
How did they do that, Dan?
I think that's a great place to start because I have nothing. I'm
nothing for technical filmmaking or anything,
it seemed like such a simply shot movie, right?
Yeah.
No advanced angles, no weird looks, that kind of thing. It was here's the screen, here's the person, he's dead. And then it moves on to the next part of it. I guess like maybe some of the more advanced stuff that I saw was like when there's a part of the movie where the dean is getting run over by his car, and like it's shot from like the perspective of the car at certain points, and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of that's about the only thing I noticed. But like, yeah,
I have Movie Tree next. I don't know.
you have Movie Tree.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I mean, it is the most stacked cast. of
This
that.
tree is massive.
It really is. It's world tree level.
It is one of those large oaks that continues to grow the more I think about all the people that are in this and what they...
Yeah, and even the ones that are uncredited. I'll go with Michael Rosenbaum, the future Lex Luthor from Smallville. I think that's probably his most iconic role. I'm sure he's had a few others in different movies and such, but that's when I think of Michael Rosenbaum. I see him with the shaved head and Lex Luthor.
I discovered him through his podcast, which is a great podcast, but yeah.
Really?
It's on YouTube. It's amazing, yeah. Great choice. He's so good in this movie. I'll take the one that you were struggling with off air, Tara Reid.
Okay.
American Pie, that was a big one.
That's her?
Yep. She's in American Pie.
The one that with the flask?
Um,
That's hanging around Finch a lot?
no, she gets with Rookie of the Year guy, the pitcher. Yeah, seeing her in a slasher it's just like peak Tara Reid moment.
I feel like I've heard that name in a lot of like late 90s, early 2000s movies. Like she had a big like surge of movies in that era.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like I feel like I could see her face a lot, and I just don't recognize it's all the same person.
Yeah.
Well, from one DC supervillain to another, we got Jared Leto, the future Joker. Along with being
An Academy Award winner now.
yes, great human being, as we all know. I don't.
Is that a reference to Suicide Squad antics?
I have heard that he's done similar things on other movies. I cannot confirm nor deny. You just read things, and so it's like you hear about what he did to be Joker in Suicide Squad, like the pranks he would play or something like that, and
He's very method.
yeah, exactly. So I wonder if this was even around back then. Like you see how young he was; he had to be in his like early 20s.
Yeah, this was even before American Psycho.
Yeah.
He's in that too with Christian Bale in 2000.
Okay.
So this is probably one of his first roles, maybe, after coming off of being a rock band guy, or 30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay.
But yeah, he's done a lot of work since. He's going to be in the new Tron movie.
Yeah.
He was in, what was that terrible superhero movie? Morbius. He was the greatest comic book movie ever made, Morbius. He was in the Blade Runner sequel.
Next to Spawn. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And I liked Spawn.
There's another one coming. My next one, Joshua Jackson,
Oh yeah.
with the great Dawson's Creek reference inside this movie.
Mm-hmm. Very meta. That's kind of a
Yeah.
big. That
was nice.
Also, Mighty Ducks. Can't forget forget Charlie Conway.
90s, early 2000s heartthrob, probably, I would say.
Right up there, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah.
Next one I'll go with is Rebecca Gayheart, who I have down here as a horror icon. Like she has been on all sides of it. So she's been the killer, she's been the victim, she's been like the sole survivor, I think, at certain points. So it's
Final
like,
Girl.
Yeah, thank you. I have her down in Santa's Sleigh, Jawbreaker, Scream. Obviously, this movie, like she is a scream queen.
This is an obvious one. Robert Englund.
Haven't we seen this guy before somewhere?
I mean, he's definitely up to some antics in this one. They do some nice misdirection with him.
Oh, they do a ton of misdirection in
yeah.
this movie. I have that down too. Like that's actually one of my notes for this entire overview. Was like there's a lot of misdirects between Wexler, Leto's character, the janitor, and a few others actually.
Yeah, as much as the filmmaking is very, lack of a better term, vanilla, the script is definitely
Pretty well written, yeah.
well written, and keeps you guessing on who's going to be the killer or who not. you sort of eliminate things and you're like, oh, maybe they are.
Mm-hmm.
It throws you off. Like I said, misdirections.
I have some kind of small ones. John Neville, who plays the Dean, he's the general from The Fifth Element, who fires at the asteroid as it's coming to him and doesn't survive the encounter. The creepy janitor, that's what he's credited as, Julian Richings.
Weird janitor.
Weird?
Yeah, weird.
My bad.
It's okay.
He would go on, I know him from the TV series Supernatural. He plays one of the Four Horsemen. He plays Death, and it's pretty darn good, actually.
Chucky's in it, yep.
Yeah.
Brad Dourif.
Thank you. He didn't even get credited, but that is Brad Dourif as the gas station attendant, if you can't tell by the scream.
A great opening. I had one more, and it's not even like, this actress is not even in the movie, but there's a reference to her work. The cop is hooked on Foxy Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Played by Pam Grier.
Okay.
So I like that little touch that she's inspired by Foxy Brown.
Stitch.
Yeah. Who you got?
Dean Adams.
Oh, the car.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah.
Yep, that is my favorite kill of the film.
It is a nasty way to go. The Achilles cut into the
Yep.
into the spikes, like.
Yep. Horrific.
But I have to go with Rosenbaum. Like that toilet cleaner pop rocks combination thing. Like that is a nasty way to go. I mean, even if the character was a douche, like it was a nasty way to go. And right after right after the 4M moment, like oof, that dude had a bad last party.
Yeah, that actually ties into my 4M moment.
Yep, same one. I think I have. I just call it poor doggo.
Mine is the aftermath. Rosenbaum still has the phone in his mouth. And it rings. I thought that was more horrific than like he's still like not alive, but his ringtone and it kind of tied back.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh god.
I go back to the dog, man.
Yeah.
Like that dog, that was a cool ass dog. It took the beer beer bong. Yeah, like that's a boy and his dog.
Yeah.
And the killer microwaved it. Just ugh.
Yeah.
Still heebie-jeebies from that, honestly. I did have another one though.
Okay.
I mean, and it's kind of an obvious one, but I just call it the big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the end of the movie, big reveal who the killer is after all the misdirects and everything. Do you want me to?
Yes, do it.
Okay.
Sure. I'm assuming people have seen this, so if you haven't,
yeah, plug your ears.
please pause and come back.
Skip ahead about 2 minutes, okay?
Yeah. One time.
Rebecca Gayheart. It was Brenda all along, and it's actually a massive revenge plot for the main character participating in an urban legend at the beginning of the movie, and that's what inspired the whole thing. And it's very like killing her becomes then impossible, right? Which that's kind of a great hallmark for great slasher movies is like how hard it is to actually take down the killer in the end. Scream would go on and be like, oh, you shot me 6 times, I don't give a shit, I'm pull off my vest,
Yeah, and revenge is always a good motive for these, slasher films as well.
It's taken to a really nice level. Like, everything's very poetic, and like even at the end, she's just like, "Oh, I've got the perfect one for you," and the crazy eyes and she did so well at this. Like, I was so impressed. But yeah, that's my other big one. I had to give to what I just said is the big reveal.
It's a great choice. Great choice. So where do you rank Urban Legend?
So on our scale, which we covered a little bit last time.
The belts.
I would put this...
Or the match card.
Yeah. I would call this the opener. So basically our 4 out of 5. I call this the opener simply because it is part of that revival of the horror genre. It's a massive part of it. It doesn't get enough credit, and it does it very well, and it's very, very good. You mentioned the script being a great part of it.
Yeah.
But it's well acted.
Performances, too.
Yep, the performances are very well done. Like, nothing's too horribly over the top. Even, like, I would call the most over the top one, Terra's. Even that is done perfectly well with the urban legend theme. Like, they reference the scream in a song is actually real because, somebody was getting offed in another room. This is the scream, her murder heard on live radio, and it kept you guessing. It
Definitely
gave
did.
you a satisfying conclusion. Really, it just, when you get the big twist ending at the end, or the big twist where, we find Brenda's actually alive after everything she went through at the end, it makes you actually happy there's going to be a sequel, probably. Yeah, I mean, it ticks all the marks for a must-see movie. Is it on par with, like, Scream? No. Like,
Not the first one.
Yeah, if this was Scream 1 would be main event. This is your opener. Watch this, then go watch Scream.
Great double feature. That would be a good idea.
Exactly. You would be very happy with what you did there.
Yeah.
And if you put a movie in between it, just kind of cleanse the palate and get yourself ready for something as important and as good as Scream, then you'd have yourself that's why I'm putting it opener.
Yeah, I'm a little lower than you. A 3 out of 5 secondary main event. The belts aren't on the line, but it's a great match. That's how I feel about Urban Legend right now.
Well, that's fair.
Of course, I haven't seen as much as you, but I really enjoyed.
So you're saying, like, watch, like, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, then watch Urban Legends, then watch Scream if you're doing, like, a horror murder.
I think
fun.
it's, like, the nice secondary to the main event, like we talked about with Scream.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a nice, it pairs nice, if we're going with wine reference and palate cleansers.
There you go.
It pairs nice with other slashers.
Okay.
And I have to give it credit, I hadn't heard about this franchise until we started doing the show. And it really does fit well with those other 90s slashers and that revival that we talked about earlier. I think it fits right in.
So I would go with, if you want a really great, like, 90s, 2000s revival horror, like, watch party, go for, like, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, into Urban Legends, into Scream, and you will have yourself a hell of a good weekend.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. And I think that's going to wrap up this episode of Mad Living Disc. We'll catch you next time. Thanks again.
Peace.